morning, folks. This is Spiritzephyr with your weather share for December 12th, 2011. And just coming to you from York, Pennsylvania. We had 2 days of allowance of sunny skies. And as you can see this morning, they are hard at work, busy schmutzing things back up again. The weather forecast calls for clear skies for today and tonight, but I'm going to make my own forecast, and that is, with this activity, will be overcast by evening unless it all blows onward. But you can see here we've already got quite a bit of overcast laid down, and you can also see this is not a sunny, clear sky. For those folks who still believe in the persistent contrail theory, I would remind you that this is persistent contrails are an unusual atmospheric anomaly, not something that happens on a weekly or daily basis. And these chemtrails that you see in the sky here are laid down regardless of atmospheric conditions. They look pretty much the same all the time. Something real important, though, was brought to my attention, folks. If you take a look at my favorites, there's a video there that I found via some source or another. It's called The Mystery of Water. And it's really probably one of the most important videos that I ever watched. And I became familiar with Dr. Emoto's work years and years ago. And that is how water is responsive to human emotion. But the video goes way beyond that with other scientific studies that begin to define a very reactive nature of water with the human being. And I hope you take a minute to watch, because one of the problems is that when we look at the stuff in the sky, we're looking at an effect of chemicals, but what we're actually seeing isn't the chemicals themselves, but the condensation that is building up around the chemicals. And we look and we see that down there on the horizon. You can see that whitish-brown stain. Okay, what we're seeing there are the actual stain of those chemicals in the atmosphere. But when we look up and we see these chemtrails, we can see the color alteration of the chemicals. But what we're actually looking at are the water molecules condensing on those particles in the atmosphere. And when we express a negative emotion, which is very difficult not to, we're expressing it towards the water. And that becomes a real big problem. Because in essence, those of us who love our planet dearly, when we look at a polluted body of water, or we look at a polluted sky, we're conveying intensely negative emotions to that water. So how do we deal with that? What do? Because in essence, we are causing and creating our own sort of emotional pollution, which is actually much more devastating than the chemicals that they're putting in the water here, or putting in the sky, and the pollution that's going into the water. And I guess you could say we are facilitating the corruption. So somewhere we have to find the capacity and the ability to look at this and say, my God, how much I appreciate and value the water how beautiful our water is, how beautiful the clouds are. And we've come to a real challenge in the truth movement with our ability to see what's going on around us with open eyes and maintain a positive and loving attitude and an appreciative attitude towards our natural world and towards our fellow man.